Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller & Son Furniture. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM. Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno.
Muy bueno.
Ooh, a little Spanish today. Nice.
Well, yeah, you just got back from Mexico.
Nice. Little vacation.
Little time to get away and recharge is probably good.
It was nice.
Excellent.
We do a yearly trip that combines my birthday and our anniversary, kind
Perfect.
of like all in one trip. So that's what we did.
Smart man.
So the camera's not adjusted. I am just extremely a bronze beauty right now. That tan is real.
He's glowing.
And it's mostly sunburn. But yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well as well.
Good. It's hot here.
It is a little warm here, yes.
I was hoping, honestly, to come back to some nice fall 70s, upper 60s at night, type of weather.
Kind of like it was before you left.
Yeah, and it's still hot here, in the 80s and 90s
And it's gonna,
for a while.
I guess, continue at least through the weekend. Good Lord, we could use some rain.
Yeah.
For more ways than one, but I'm sure the farmers, things are done growing. They probably wouldn't mind some dry weather to go ahead and
start
get
harvesting.
things. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, we could definitely use some rain, especially, this sounds weird, but we just now finished the next phase, almost the last phase of the long-range control plan there at the wastewater treatment plant, where and I say long-range plan, it's a 20-year separation of stormwater and sanitation lines. And so what we need now is water, because the new facility is open, but we can't really adequately test it because we don't have a lot of stormwater working its way in and such. And so
some rain.
I'd love to see some of that.
Yeah.
Not a ton, but just enough so we can make sure everything is working.
And then pretty soon it'll be snowing. But let's give a quick shout out to Robert Miller & Son. They are the partner for the Mayor Tyler Moore Show, and they want to embrace the changing seasons, like I would love to right now as well, with the Fall into Savings event at Robert Miller & Son. Take advantage of up to 30% off select furniture pieces, no peaches, with Tempur-Pedic floor models up to 50% off, and Lazy Boy recliners starting at just $399. Wow. If you're looking for luxury, you can also shop for Norwegian-made stressless models. Robert Miller & Son guarantees their lowest price, so you can shop with confidence. Come in store and see the next addition to your home. Robert Miller & Son Furniture here in Kokomo.
Thank you, guys.
Partner for the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. So what's going on at City Hall?
We're transitioning into lemon leaf season as well, and scrambling to try and get some end of season, if you will, paving done. So outside of where we would hope to have been, where we've scheduled, there's still some repair stuff. I know we had to take some crews off because they had a culvert collapse underneath LaFountain Road there next to the American Legion. So had to get that corrected, that repaired, and so that kind of took our crews off of that for a week or so. But little things like that. Other things that are coming up are not us, even though it seems like we're out there because they're always white trucks. But there's been a small handful of water main breaks. And so that's disrupted a lot of traffic as well, but still scrambling to get some of that done. But when I say gearing up for lemon leaf season, we've already had people say, hey, we've got limbs out here. Hey, what are we going to do?
Can I confess something?
Absolutely.
The first time you said that, I thought you said lemon and leaf season.
Oh, lemon and leaf.
And I've lived here my entire life, and I didn't know we had a lemon season, let alone a leaf. I knew about leaf season. I didn't know about the lemon season. Limb and leaf season. Got it.
Yes. So I guess the lemon season would be coming up here in October. So we're going to be more intentional this year, because a lot of times we wait and do what we can, and then when the leaves start falling and things come out, people are throwing limbs in with the leaves, which delays the leaf collection, because then we're separating that. We can't use the vac machines to pull the leaves up when there's limbs in, because then it damages up. And so Street Superintendent Cliff Van Adder has put out a notice informing folks that if you've got limbs and brush that you will need collected, again, because the city does this kind of as a courtesy, or that they're scheduled because it's trash and road maintenance and such, that through the month of October, we're going to make passes through the city to collect limbs and brush specifically, get those up and out of the way. And then when the leaves start falling in November-ish, is when then we'll make the passes through the city again to pick up the leaves. So trying to get those.
I've already got some leaves falling.
Intentionally separated so we can get the hard stuff out of the way, through October, and then make it easier to make the passes through the city for the leaves in November.
Love that.
So
yeah, very cool. That's something I look forward to every year because our yard, we live in a heavily tree area, and there's always so many leaves and things like that, and it's a great amenity from the city. You guys just come pick all that kind of stuff up.
You bet. Awesome. And then we're gearing up. We're partnering with the early Kokomo history learning group. I think kind of got
like
things
proper name.
It's
there.
kind of shuffled around differently, but for our second annual now Native American gathering down at Foster Park on Saturday, the drums along the Wildcat, and so that begins around 11 o'clock and goes through the afternoon with Native American dancing, drums, artifacts, food, and such. And so it's a day long. They typically call them powwows, but it's a Native American gathering. And it's although that the Miami Indians were the ones that were here in this area, there's going to be representation from tribes from throughout the Midwest there. So it should be another event this year.
Very cool.
Saturday. Yep.
Speaking of events, it is absolutely insane to me. We're already halfway through September. But what that gets me really excited for is First Friday in October, which
is that?
Post party happening this year. It's no patio this year at our new office, but we're on Walnut Street now, and we are closing down a large segment of our street for the post party, which is, we don't participate in every First Friday, but we always do the October one. And the team here is, guys, it's
over the top.
It's insane. This First Friday event, happening here. We're at 210 West Walnut. So it's just like the block off the square on Walnut Street. The list of vendors and like just free stuff, awesome things happening is absurd. This year, we are meeting with the Parks Department today to talk about where we're going to put the stage and how electric's all going to work, because we're going to have some music. We're going to have our costume party again. It's really funny. So there's actually a wedding happening at the Hobson
that night. All right.
And I'm kind of getting nervous because like we don't hold back on these nights. I'm not going to lie. Like there's some loud music. It's really fun. But I'm like, dearly beloved, I do the monster mash. Like I'm just cracking up at the idea. And hopefully we don't ruin their wedding. But we're gonna be having a party.
Maybe they'll shift it and make the theme a Halloween theme. Yeah,
maybe. But it's going to be a really fun time. And for the first time ever this year, we're having a VIP hour for those who have their Kokomo Post Pass. You get in an hour early to the party. There will be a bunch of like exclusive things just for you guys because you are our people. If you have that Post Pass, if you don't yet, go to thekokomopost.com/postpass. It is our new all access pass to experiencing Kokomo like never before. You get access to events like what we're talking about right now. You get access to local business perks, a bunch of content. We actually just sent out our first look emails that we're sending out to Post Pass members. You should have got one. I did get one for the new tattoo studio that opened up downtown, and there was another one as well. So exclusive content just for Post Pass members get sent to your inbox. So literally, you never miss anything that's going on in Kokomo. But that VIP hour before everybody else gets there is really exciting. Awesome. So we're doing that, and I think that was my phone. But yeah, it's just a wild night. Dylan, it'll be your first one that you've ever done, the post party. But it's really fun. And I say this every year, the coolest part about that event. So everything we do here at the Kokomo Post is kind of like what you're experiencing right now, right? It's a digital relationship. We post a lot online, post content, we get the comments, we get the messages, we get the shares, all that type of engagement. But this is like the one time a year we're all like together. And it's like we get to see people that follow our content, that get to experience Kokomo in a deeper way because of the stuff we put out there. And it's always just really fun to meet everybody in person. So,
and not just the people that follow your content, I mean, but their families as well, because this is the epitome of family friendly. Super family friendly event. So
there's going to be a bunch of candy. There's trick or treating. I think like Posh Salon in town, they're going to be at the party this year. And like, it's also, I forget what year, they're celebrating a business anniversary. And Lindsay from Posh was like, hey, can I kind of just crash your party and have our party at your party? So, I mean, like, there's just a bunch of awesome business relationships that are going on, local businesses, partnering. We've got some great vendors, like I said, but the post patio part, I mean, that's going to take a while. We don't have a patio anymore. The post party, it's really one of my favorite nights of the year. And like, I walk away every year, what the heck just happened? And like the best way. Cause it's just, I mean, I literally think between 4,000 and 5,000 people came last year, and we had to cut off vendors this year.
I bet.
Cause we're just like, man, we don't have that much space like for all these people. And like, there's this just crazy list of vendors. We had to literally deadline it. I know the Coterie is going to be there with their burgers again this year. They'll have their grill out there. Booze Buggy's going to be doing some mocktail, like fun Halloween mocktails for the kids. They're going to be out there. I do believe White Horse Winery will be here this year too, also doing some fun stuff. So just the ridiculous amount of people that are partnering, and this event is just so wild. So we are like 3 weeks away from that.
There you go.
So look out. And first Friday in October in general is just a really good time. Because bring your kids. It's another excuse. I know Halloween costumes are expensive. Like, you get another use out of them. Yep. So it's always a good time. But I'm sad we're not right by City Hall anymore. Because, you know, we were right by you guys last year, and
we're just around the corner.
Just
across the block, across the square.
Yeah, actually, here you go. I have it pulled up right now. Gravity Trampoline Park, Anne Marie's Boutique, Hacienda, Kokomo Bobcats, Culver's, Cardwell Built, A&P Photography, Alexa Stevens Photography, the Showmobile Stage provided by the city of Kokomo, Aesthetic Rental Company, Booze Buggy is coming, Grissom Maze of Terror, Sun King Kokomo, Heritage Lanes, Clifford Signs, Burger Bar from the Coterie is going to be there. Oh yeah, this is cool too. There's this company locally called Derby's Hats, and she makes like custom hats for people.
Cool.
So there will be a DIY hat patch bar from Derby's Hats. DJ Pew will be there, of course, spitting out the tunes. Tables and Chairs were brought to you by the Hobson, so shout out to them. So apparently they have so many because they have a wedding night too as well. Indie Inflatables of Kokomo is, oh my gosh, might be the craziest thing. It's an inflatable obstacle course and games from Indie Inflatables of Kokomo. And it's actually Austin Walls and his wife, Laura. They started this new company in town. There's like 4 different things.
Where are you going to have room for it?
I don't know. Aaron and Bree have like mapped it out, they said. So it's all going to fit. And the official partner for this, obviously, is Ivy Tech Community College, which they're such a good partner of ours. They treat us so well. We've done a really cool video series with them that you guys have seen called The Trek, and Ivy Tech just continues to blow me away. All the stuff they're doing. KMG Supply. So the tote bags, which we have every year, which you guys really love. We have like a Halloween version of our logo called, it's the Post Ghost. It's this little cute little ghost guy. But you'll get a bag, trick or treat bag, and those are brought to you by KMG Supply. We're doing a free like craft. Lowe's is actually bringing multiple of their staff, and we're doing like a free craft for kids. Temporary tattoo parlor from Lucky Raven Tattoo. They're going to be here this year. You're like, I thought you were done. No, there's more. And actually, Lucky Raven, they're the ones that just opened up on the square, which you would know that if you're in the Post Pass and you got the email. Here it is, Halloween Beauty Bar from Posh Salon and Boutique. So they're going to come down. They're going to celebrate their birthday with us at First Friday, but they're going to have like Halloween tinsel you can put in your hair. They're going to have like fun nail stuff that you can get done. So Posh is bringing that. Live VIP music from Rum Academy is coming. 360 photo booth experience from Roundabout Way 360. They're coming down as well. Cotton Candy Station from Sparkle Me Sweet.
You're not going to have enough room.
It's going to be interesting. Sparkle Me Sweet, they've been at almost every single post patio party that we've had, so shout out to them. Hot Chocolate and Cider Bar from White Horse Winery. They're going to be down there as well. And then we have the alley that it's right next to our building. That's going to be full of vendors as well. So a lot of these people that I'm talking about, they're not going to be like on the main street. We'll have like the alley blocked off. But Activity Alley is brought to you by 4C Health. So thanks for them for partnering all of that. Bag sponsors. Yeah, I think I'm repeating now. All right, got to the end. Got it.
All right, we're out of time.
Yeah,
that's all, folks. Okay, we'll see you.
I'm not kidding. Like this event, I mean, the last few years, this has become like Bree's baby, which you guys know Bree. She's on so much content here at the Kokomo Post, and she does such a good job for us. And she is a party planner. Like she loves this world, and like she's also like, she loves spooky season in general. So like this is just her favorite thing in the
Yeah.
world. Her husband, Brandon, shout out Brandon. He actually every year has made like a bunch of food for the staff. And like every year he's known for bringing a different type of chili. Like one year he literally brought like a pumpkin spice chili.
All right.
Like was really good. From what I heard, tell me if I'm wrong. I think I saw this yesterday in Slack. Since there's going to be so many more people here this year volunteering and things like that, we're doing like a chili cook-off that night. So like staff can bring their own chili and things like that.
While all this is going on.
Yeah, that wasn't enough. All the
Okay,
stuff
sure,
outside.
yeah.
But I'm tired just talking about like that. It's wild. It's such a fun night. And like, it was so good to meet everybody that follows us online and like gets our content. It's just going to be a really fun night.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We make
Good stuff.
First Friday a really big deal and in October. So it's exciting. So, okay.
All right.
That's all I have. Once again, just a quick shout out for the Kokomo Post Pass. If you are interested in that, make sure to go to the kokomopost.com/pass. It's only $5 a month. You get all of that for $5 a month.
Easy to set up.
You don't even notice the money's leaving, and it's super easy. And you get one of these like fancy passes. 1 second. That you get on your phone. So for all like the local business perks, you just show them that you have the pass. Shows up on Apple and Google Wallet. That's all I have. All right. So thanks for watching this episode of the Matt Tyler Moore Show. No, we will open it up. I have a few questions today that we'll open it up to real quick. I see one in the chat as well. But let's get started. So the first question I have is from Josh on Facebook. Goyer Road needs a sidewalk. Too many walkers on that road, and it's very dangerous how people drive. Josh on Facebook.
2026. So we recently, about a month and a half, maybe it's been 2 months now, had a kind of a town hall meeting down at City Hall with the engineering firm that's going to be designing that. And so that project was slated, got pushed back when Hoffer Street got pushed back. Hoffer's getting done now. Hoffer's getting on, but yes, Goyer Road will be reconstructed and have sidewalks. So it'll be it will continue to go through the design phase or finalization through the end of the year, go out for bid early next year, then go for securing the financing, and then work most likely either end of 25 or part of 26.
Gotcha. So we're that far planned out for projects.
That's it. And that's, people say, what's the most challenging thing about being a mayor? What, some of the frustrating, it's that, you know the things that need to be done. LaFountain Street, from basically the Rural King, where Washington and LaFountain come together, all the way down to the new, to Lowe's and Chipotle. That's going to be the next big one, but again, because of the size and scope of that, it's got to be designed, and it's got to be bid out, and it's got to be funded and stuff. So a lot of these things, the desire and plans start, but then it takes almost 2 years to come to fruition, just because of the additional financing or the additional funding that's required in order to cover the size and scope of those. Goyer's on that, and it is coming.
Gotcha. Next question is from Vicky on live chat. Actually, says you need to put more grills and picnic tables in the parks. Some have none right now.
Okay, so probably the shelter areas that are there. So definitely good thought, and that's good to hear that people are utilizing them and would like to utilize them for that. I'd have to check with Park Superintendent Tory Rowe. There may be concerns with the number of those, or some may have been removed. A lot of times too, the few bad apples that spoil the bunch. I mean, if you got the grills out there and you got coals and stuff, and then the family reunion or the little party's over and they leave and the coals are still in there, or get dumped in the trash can and something catches on fire or something. There's probably strategy on the placement of certain grills, or keeping a certain number of them so as to best monitor and reduce the cause of some type of incident. But we'll definitely look at, and I know a lot of times too, if you don't fix the picnic tables to the concrete slabs in the shelters, they get taken and moved and drug all over the place too, and so that is sometimes frustrating. But we'll definitely take that into consideration and see where some more can be placed. If she has specific parks in mind that she frequents or would like, shoot me an email and let me know where you would like to see specific shelters equipped with picnic tables and grills, and we can look into that. mayor@cityofkokomo.org.
Okay. Next question is from Emily on Instagram.
Cool.
If you had to wear the same thing every day, what are you picking?
If I had to wear the same thing every day, what am I picking?
It's a great question.
It is a great question.
There's a philosophy or like a psychological thing. Have you heard of this? Like Mark Zuckerberg does this. He used to actually, he doesn't do this anymore. But he would wear the exact same thing every day. And there was this like infamous photo of his closet. And it's like the exact same shirt, same jeans, same shoes. And they say it's because like people and you would fall into this category, like you are in a stressful-ish job that requires a lot of like decision making, and humans just naturally, we get decision fatigue is what it's called. So they say like if you can eliminate any decision that isn't like connected to like your responsibilities at your career or job, do it. So like wearing the exact same thing every day eliminates one of those decisions, which makes you have like capacity to make a decision for something that actually does matter. What are you picking? Had to wear the exact same thing every day?
I mean, probably a button-down bowling type of shirt, bowling or garage.
So like a short sleeve
button-down, comfortable pair of jeans, and a comfortable pair of cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots?
I love my cowboy boots. I obviously don't have them on now, but I like.
Okay,
I've got a pair that I wear quite a bit.
Emily, I hope this is okay. This was your question, but now it's my follow-up. What's keeping you from doing that?
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Who's going to tell you no?
True. True. I mean,
city council going to get on you about something?
No. And really, you're right. I mean, it's okay.
What was it, Jesse? What was the wrestler who became the governor of?
Oh, Jesse, the Bobby Ventura. Jesse Ventura.
He wore whatever he wanted to. There's also that senator from Philadelphia who wears like hooded sweatshirts all the time.
Oh, really?
Or not from Philadelphia, just Pennsylvania. Nice. I forget his name, but like he's known for like he just wears a hoodie and jeans all the time. He was like a union guy and got like elected because like his influence in the union, and like he just wears hoodies.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I guess I assume that when certain people see or have a leader of a community or an elected official, I mean, sometimes there's an image that they expect the individual to have. But you're right. I guess
I feel like is that something that's changing with the times too?
Oh, it totally is.
You know what I mean? Like a more casual, like.
I mean, look at some of the older movies. I mean, my grandfather wore a three-piece wool suit to football games.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what they did.
Old NFL coaches.
Yeah.
Like, they used to wear like suits. Yeah. I think like just style, fashion, and dress, like in general, is changing. I've seen obviously like we have a presidential election going on right now, but I've seen like Kamala, she's wearing like sneakers at like her rallies and stuff like that. So I mean, it is. I feel like that is like a social norm that's slowly changing.
And I know one of the gubernatorial candidates, Senator Mike Braun, he almost always, he'll put a coat and tie on if he's probably presiding over but more times than not, I mean, he's got either a comfortable pair of pants and a blue shirt, blue button down long
he's got his uniform. Yeah. So I don't know. That's interesting as well as like the whole decision fatigue is real. Like you go through like stressful days where you had to make not just like a lot of decisions, but like hard decisions. So they say like the psychology of it, like what decisions can you eliminate? Like what your yeses turn into your no's, right? Like, I think that's fast. And like you saw like a lot of tech founders like do that same type of thing. It was interesting. It's a good question.
Good question.
Good. And the next question, Eric on Instagram, another Instagram question. Awesome. What movie had the greatest impact on you?
Oh, wow.
You're a big movie
That's
guy.
Cool.
Dylan, I'm curious what your answer would be too. He's a big movie guy.
Movie that had the biggest impact on me. I mean, but definitely Star Wars.
Which one?
The New Hope. I mean, the very classic. First, episode 4, when it was first released. I mean, because I was at an impressionable age. I mean, I was, 7 turning 8. And I mean, that fed into my interest in science fiction and, space and stuff. And it was just, I mean, that that really, I mean,
Biggest impact.
yeah. I mean, just because, I mean,
Is Rudy up there too? No, I thought you'd be a big Rudy guy.
No, I mean, that came later. I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I mean, definitely Star Wars just because that. But then another one might have been Full Metal Jacket.
Oh gosh.
Not
in a different way.
In a different way, because that was, I mean, my dad had taken me to movies, as a kid, and I was like, yeah, but he wasn't really a big sci-fi guy. But I think that was probably the first movie that he and I went to, because
how old were you?
Because
that's an intense movie.
Yeah, I was. When did that come out? Was I
high school? Maybe
no, I think it was younger than that. I was probably 12 or 13, so probably getting close to high school. But I mean, I just remembered. I mean, because he had a drill sergeant, forget his name or whatever. I mean, and just seeing him get into that movie, and and then
say that would be a lot for him.
And then just us, on the drive home, and we got back home and just talking about the movie. I mean, that was, impactful just because it kind of took our relationship to a different level. So
that's an intense movie.
It was a very intense movie. I love it.
I don't know what this says about me. I love like historical, like war movies in general. And like there was a new one that came out called 1917 that came out not too long ago.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah, I heard it's good.
So good, right? Like cinematography.
That is like one of my favorite movies.
All right.
Looks
like what I'm watching tonight.
Good. That's the one that has like a bunch of the long shots, right? Where it doesn't break.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Made to look like it's all one shot, but it's not.
Nice.
And it's so
I think it was on Netflix for a bit too, so it's accessible right now. Yeah. But like there's like the opening scene doesn't cut for like 20 minutes or something like that, and like you're going through. What were the trenches called? Where there was a term for that, like the trenches in old school.
The no man's land
and things like that. But like you're just going. I'm like, and I think someone finally explained it to me, because like it's dirt, it's bumpy, but like the shot is so smooth. I think what they did, like that they had the track above
the trench suspended. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But like you're just watching it and you're like, wait a minute, they haven't cut in like 10 minutes. It's
cool.
So freaking good. That was both of them. There was another one too on Netflix recently. It was another World War I movie. And that's when I had the realization, like I knew nothing about World War I. Like World War II obviously gets like talked about a bunch more in schools,
Pearl Harbor, and everything. Yeah,
and you know how I found out? I did all my research on World War I. I got on ChatGPT, which such a good tool for that, by the way, because I literally said summarize World War I in like text that I could read in like 10 minutes, and it gave me like tons of details, but like, and it just spat it out. It just had it. But like 1917, if you're like a historical like movie buff kind of guy or girl, so good. And I think it's still on Netflix, but I don't know. What would yours be? Is it that Indian movie?
Oh man.
What did you talk to me about?
Yeah,
movie.
So there's a movie that came out a couple years ago called RRR.
RRR.
Yeah,
RRR.
It's an Indian epic. It's like 3 hours, and I've seen it well over 10 times now. It sounds daunting to watch, but every second of it is super entertaining.
Yeah. Would that be your answer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what my one movie would be. I saw Full Metal Jacket. That was so good. That had the biggest impact. That's a deep question. It's kind of like saying, like, what's your favorite song? And I don't know if I can answer that. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I did love impact, as in like I reacted to it the most, probably. Man, those Marvel like Endgame movies.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I was the guy in the theater, like yelling, like in excitement. Like that's a spoiler free, right? It's been around. I'm not gonna like when they come back during, like they come through and I see Spider-Man, like I stood up in the theater. I remember I stood up, I was like, it's the boy. Like I yelled. I got so excited. But those Marvel movies, like I love that Marvel's still around, but they will never repeat what they did with like those Endgame and
I mean, they're still trying a little bit. I don't want
to make this a movie show, but like
Wolverine,
they brought back Robert Downey Jr. to be Doom.
Yeah.
What are we doing? You are Iron Man, and like
and now he's crossing.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, it would probably be
good question.
I have answered the question before, and this is a really good question too. If you could relive any moment in your life one more time, for the first time, what moment would that be? My answer would be to see those movies again for the first time.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah, I think that was my answer to that.
Yeah.
Because I remember just being so uber joyed of
I don't want to steal your answer. However, that was like...
Because I didn't know any spoilers before that movie either.
Yeah.
Like, I knew nothing when I went into it.
Yeah, I saw that like opening night, like the Thursday. And I just remember like
so good.
The theater was like jumping. Oh yeah, I've never experienced anything like that.
I felt like I was on the battlefield when I watched that. I was ready to go. Do you have an? That's a big question.
That is a big question.
Relive any moment in your life for the first time again.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be just like
seeing
you said, seeing Star Wars again.
Hopefully, our wives and kids aren't watching.
I mean,
because they're take that personally.
Just the opening sound and everything.
Oh my gosh!
Then you see the Tantive and the start of the story. You're like, oh.
I was talking about Star Wars.
My wife still gets. every time I watch that movie at home,
Chills.
It bothers my wife because I turn the TV up to like 56 and she's like, why do you have to watch it that loud? And I'm like, sit down here and you'll see why. No, I said, I want my innards rumbling when that thing comes
movies,
through.
What was I talking about? It's like Titanic and like the Lord of the Rings movies too, because those are older movies, right? But like what they were able to pull off special effects wise for Lord of the Rings is wild. Yeah. Like compared to like movies that come out now, like what they were able to pull off, like Jurassic Park even might be on that list for me to like experience like the original Jurassic Park for the first time. Would be so good. But even like Titanic, like the shots and special effects he was able to pull off in that movie were just wild. All right, interesting. Cool. Next question is from Greg on Facebook. Do we really need all of these apartments? Are they going to be priced for people who can actually afford them? Greg on Facebook.
Yes and yes. So yes, I mean, we need that. There was a report done showing that we had a housing shortage. I mean, with the number of folks that were looking and really the crux of that was those that live elsewhere and drive in and commute and everything. And so there was the need there. But yes, with upwards of 3,000 workers coming just in the 2 battery plants and the supplying companies alone, that doesn't equal or doesn't include, any spouses, any children and such. I mean, so these, jobs that are going to be filled, I mean, yes, they're not going to live here because we don't have the housing available yet. But I mean, that's the idea is to try and capture a lot of that. And, really a lot of, folks are looking at more, apartment style, townhouse style, as opposed to home, because they don't necessarily want to get into home ownership. I mean, they don't want the responsibility, the maintenance, the extra stuff. I mean, they're coming and going a lot. And so, that's where a lot of the studies have shown with that. And as for pricing, I mean, yes, a lot of what they're hoping to get out of the rent rates. I mean, they're looking at what Kokomo pays now and what the anticipated salaries are on a lot of the jobs that are coming and the majority of those that are here as well. I mean, so yes, there'll be those that will be considered market rate that, may be priced a little higher than those that, may be the typical worker, but there are apartments that are going up that are considered affordable. Now, when some people hear affordable, like, oh, affordable housing, that means subsidized. That means there's going to be vouchers.
Those are different.
No. Yeah, totally different. Now, there are aspects of multifamily or apartment complexes that are considered affordable or even market rate that will have an aspect of subsidized housing or the availability for vouchers just because of the tax credits that they may have qualified for or received from the state. So in order to receive tax credits from the state, a certain number or percentage of the available units in your complex have to be not necessarily just affordable, but they have to be available, subsidized. And so there is a component of that when these developers go for tax credits from the state. So yes, they're needed, and these developers know that they'll have to price them to try to sell, which is where we as the city struggle with that, because when they say, hey, this is our anticipated profit or return on investment here based on the rents that we see that we have to charge. So there's a financing gap, city, what are the tools that, you have to help with that? Whether it's be, bond payments, TIF specific area or specific TIF areas and such, that the increment that they're paying or the tax they're paying go back to pay the bonds that may be taking out. Had to get a little creative, but again, to work with those, knowing that they're going to be collecting rents lower than they would in the donut communities of Indianapolis.
Gotcha. Okay. Next question is from Brittany on Facebook. When will the splash pad at Jackson Morrow be finished?
Next year.
Any specific day or time?
Maybe late summer. I don't know, because we're moving forward now on the restrooms, because we needed to put the restrooms and
Plumbing and
mechanics house, if you will, the building that will have the pumps and such for the splash pad. So getting that in and hooked to the water, to the line that Indiana American Water is extending down to that area in a long pipeline. So that'll be completed, and then the splash pad. So hopefully should be middle of the end of next summer.
Got it. Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Drewski. Sorry, this is not me. I promise. This is a live chat comment. Great job on fixing the streets. Kokomo still owes me a wheel alignment.
Okay.
How does that work? Like, because I think we've talked about situations before, and I'm not fully remembering it, where somebody did, like, their car did get damaged or things like that due to like a pothole or, something like that. What's the process for someone to go through?
So they can either go to the city's website or come up to the third floor and fill out a tort claim. So we have an insurance carrier, an insurance provider for damages and claims such as that. And so the individuals fill out the claim form, list the damage, probably the date. I've not completed one myself, but as much information as they can get on the specific incident and area that caused the damage, submit that, and then we turn that over to the insurance carrier, just like if somebody had an accident. Then they investigate it, send an adjuster, and then they work directly with those individuals or with their insurance provider.
Got it. So Drewski, if you're still watching the live chat, there you go. You could possibly actually get it covered.
Get a well of mine.
Next question is from Patty on live chat as well. Who will be staying in all of the new rooms out near the Cracker Barrel?
All the new
hotel built out there.
Travel ball teams or their families, some commuters or some of the workers that may be secondé workers, because some of those are extended stay rooms, and so some of those.
Secondé? What is it?
So secondé workers is the classification of the workers from Star Plus that are coming from South Korea. They're kind of on loan, so they work in 2 years work cycles that they can then re-up for another 2-year stint or return back to South Korea. And so if there are no housing options available, then they can typically make arrangements at those extended stay. Because I know one of the 3 hotels is one of the new Hilton, through the H3 line for Hilton, which is a more extended stay. So but yeah, you're right. People are like, there's no way we need all these hotels. There really are. Grand Park and, having Championship Park as a satellite site for that. It's amazing the amount of rooms that are needed for these travel ball teams from late March through middle to the end of October. Even if the games have stopped at Championship Park, they're still doing soccer and other things down at Grand Park. And these people are not opposed to driving 35 to 45 minutes.
Well, if everything's full in Westfield, I was driving 31 late last night. There's like nothing from Westfield to Kokomo, hotel wise. Like there really isn't. Yeah. It's like a wasteland, really. Yeah. It's just fields. You know what I mean? So that makes sense. And I get that too, Patty. I hear your question because I am the person who lives in Kokomo as well, that I've never needed a hotel in Kokomo. So it's wild to me to think about all of these hotels actually being needed. Like, it's just weird that they're being built. But like, it's one of those ideas, and this is what I've had to do. On average, you might have this data. How much does it cost to build a hotel? Like a modern day hotel?
It depends on the number of units, the amenities, so 15
million, 10 million, 20 million.
Well, between
We can be conservative.
Yeah, between 12 and 20.
We'll say 15.
15
right?
million.
It's $15 million to build this hotel. These companies that are building these hotels, they're not small companies, right? I mean, the one she's talking about, is that like a Holiday Inn or?
I mean, there's we're jokingly calling it Hospitality Row because
Sure, yeah.
La Quinta's out that direction. I mean, they're on either side of Alto and out there near center along Millbrook. But yeah, there's 2 Hiltons. There's a Courtyard by Marriott. There's
we'll do like Hilton, right? Hilton, large company, right? And from everything I'm hearing from everybody, the economy is rough right now. Why would Hilton, in a rough economy, decide to build a $15 million hotel in Kokomo, Indiana, if they didn't think it was needed?
They're actually there's 3 flags because the hotel and conference center downtown.
$45 million investment in Kokomo, Indiana. Do you think a large organization is like that is making that type of financial decision in a world where we're being told it's some sort of recession?
Now they get behind these developers. I mean, so like SSG out of Lafayette is the one developing the hotel and conference center and will be running the hotel. I mean, and so they approached Hilton and said, we'd like Hilton to be a flag. And so you're right. I mean, Hilton, Marriott, I mean, they may not be, developing it themselves, but
somebody is.
They're hanging their hat or allowing them to fly their flag, on
near
it.
$50 million is being spent.
And we've talked about that too. People like, some of the questions, why are you letting Chick-fil-A go here? Why is Chipotle going there? Why don't you, bring something to the west side? I mean, it's just like the hotels. We're not actively going out after these hotels saying, hey, we need hotels. I mean, it's the same way that Chick-fil-A has done. It's, that others have done. They look at the local market and they see where they want to go strategically next. And so they see the activity here. They've done the research. They know that it's going to be good investment. So
dollars of it research, these large, I mean, look how long it took Chick-fil-A to come. Yeah. It's because they've spent, before they got here, they've spent millions of dollars probably researching should they come here.
Which is also the frustrating because people, again, criticize, and say, why are you bringing so many hotels? We need grocery stores. Why are you building housing complexes? We need a grocery store on the first end. Grocery stores are the only ones we've been actively going after besides housing. I mean, because we need housing.
Maybe we should stop.
So
maybe stop going and maybe they'll show up. It's the law of the non-attractive or whatever.
Yeah. So we're still working on that.
What do they say in love? Like the moment you stop looking for someone, that's when you find them. Just stop trying to find a grocery store for like a few months just to see how it works. No, you're right. And like and I don't know, it's one of those things I've just loved about this show is like we are able to like literally educate people on what is the role of a government, a city government. Well, how does that work, right? Because I mean, what's ironic is the same people that say like, why'd you let Chick-fil-A go there are the same people that would get frustrated at government having too much say on what businesses do, so there's some irony there, but like, it's interesting, but I guarantee you this. Those large companies we're talking about, whether it's the development companies or actually like Hilton or Courtyard by Marriott in general, they didn't get to where they are today by making poor financial decisions. So, I mean, if they are backing these decisions to put these hotels in Kokomo, I promise you, even though it might not be you who will be staying in these hotels, which I highly encourage them, have a staycation, maybe go out to the hotel sometime, but they will be used. Yep. There is a purpose for them coming here, and it's not just blah, blah, blah rumors you hear on the internet. There are legit reasons these multi-billion-dollar organizations are making multi-million-dollar decisions. So there you go.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, those are the questions we had today.
Great stuff.
If you have any questions for the mayor, leave it in the chat below. We'll grab it for next week's show. But yeah, Ask the Mayor segment's always a good time. Thanks for the good questions today, especially the movie one. We could have ranted about that.
Oh, I know.
For a while. Yeah, especially with Dylan here. He really could have.
We could do like a whole month's worth of series.
There you go. Excellent. Yeah, exactly.
Movie.
So tell me, you have a dad joke for us today.
So another fun weekend of football, and watching a lot.
It's not a very fun season for me. That's fine.
Well, we'll be all right. We're 17 and 18.
We are
in each other one. But no, I noticed that a lot of the teams, the defense, after they would sack the quarterback. They were wiping their feet on him when they were walking back to the huddles.
On the quarterback?
A lot of them would get up and
just rude.
Wiping their feet on the quarterback.
Doormat,
I know. They were using him as a throw rug.
There it is.
There it is.
What do you think your kids will think about that one?
The same. They'll be like,
come on,
that's
Dad.
bad. You can do better.
You can do better. They believe in you. Thanks for watching this episode of the Mary Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partner with Robert Miller and Son Furniture. Like I said, make sure to go to kokomopost.com/postpass to get your post pass. Only $5 a month gets you to be the all access pass to experiencing Kokomo like never before.
It.
Thank you so much for watching Kokomo. We will see you next time.
See you, Kokomo.